start with the McDavid update and whether he'll be.
Not initially. He might join us later in the trip, but not now.
How this injury's evolved? Is it getting better? How do you guys kind of see the injury evolve? Like, do you have an early timeline, or is it kind of expanding?
I guess we know a ballpark when it's going to be, and it's not going to be the next game or two, and it's definitely, well, we feel it should be before the regular season ends. So we're looking at 1, 2, and at the most 3, because that's what we have left of our season. But he'll be, like I said, before the regular season is over.
Is there no rush to get him back, considering you guys are hoping to go on a long fast run and the rest might be enjoyable?
No, I don't think there's that. I think the most important thing is that he is healthy and 100% for the playoffs. But to say that the regular season's not that important and we're not playing for anything, we're just putting in time, I think is a little far-fetched. We're not in that position. So when he is healthy, we want him joining, we want him playing, but we're not going to push something that might get worse.
Do you expect Stuart Skinner and Matthias Ekholm to travel?
They will not be joining us initially. They might join us later in the trip.
So you anticipate that Rodrigue might actually go down?
We don't play any back-to-backs, so it's not that we're in a position that he has to or that makes it difficult. And there's likelihood that he might. I don't know. We haven't decided that yet.
Okay. It's been, like, for everybody outside the team, it's been sort of confusing, right? He was hurt before Four Nations. He was hurt at Four Nations. He's been hurt since he got back. We don't even know what the injury is. We don't know how long it's going to last. He's a pretty important player at home, and we're wondering how much he's going to help this team this season.
Ekholm's a very important part. And during that time around the Four Nations, he was sick. I don't recall an injury with Ekholm. I think it was just him being really sick, and no denying that with the interviews that he did. He did not sound well. Now, he did have an injury after the Four Nations, and he took a little bit of time off, came back, felt that it wasn't quite what it should have been, and now we're taking a little more time for it to heal.
Do you think that you can have him in a position that when the playoffs start, he'll be 100% healthy, or is this got to drag it through the playoffs and get to summer kind of thing?
No, I think it's something that can get healed, and it'll be 100%. It's not like Evander Kane last year. It's something that was ongoing, and it didn't matter how much time off he had. It was going to be ongoing. It's not an injury like that. It is something that can get healed, and he can move on and be 100%. Just needs some time.
What about Klingberg? Like, he came back play one game.
Yeah, no,
Same thing, or?
He had a setback with his injury, where yes, it took a setback, and he should be joining us later in the week, but it's not something. It should be fine.
Kane going on the road trip to skate.
Evander is going to be with us on the road trip. He will be skating. Trent Frederick will be on the road trip, and he will start skating with the team.
Chris, is this the worst possible time for? I mean, injuries start piling up. Yes, it's near the end of the regular season, but I mean, you would pick the worst time.
I think every team goes through injuries, some more than others. Last year, we were very fortunate. What we went through was minimal. Right now, this is about as bad as it gets. You know, your 2 superstars out, your possibly your best defenseman, and then numerous other guys. But I think worst case scenario would be those guys aren't ready for playoffs. And I think we're very fortunate that none of those guys are even remotely looking like, besides Evander, I think everybody will also be before regular season's over.
And Stu, because it's a goalie, does it bring a little more cautious? He's Okay.
I don't think it's any more cautious. I think there's when they're ready, and after an injury like that, you need to be 100%. So I don't think there's any, whether he's a forward or goalie, any situation like that.
He's not ready to even practice.
Not yet. And there's another player that might join us. He won't be with us initially on the trip, and hopefully, maybe at the tail end, he joins us.
So a small plane going there and a large plane.
We have a lot of guys that aren't joining us initially.
How have you liked the reaction your basically your core group without David outside of that Seattle game?
I think they've reacted well. I know that early on there was a lot of enthusiasm once he's going to play. Over the long run, those guys who aren't playing those heavy minutes aren't used to it, and then it starts to drag them down a little bit. But overall, during this stretch, I think guys have really stepped up and played well, and we're going to need that moving forward. Even when we add in those guys, maybe their minutes aren't going to be the same, their roles aren't going to be, or will be diminished a little bit, but we need the same level of play from those guys.
Did I miss Perry up there? I didn't see
Oh,
Perry.
Perry's. Perry had a setback again.
He had a setback.
Well, yesterday he was sick, and just the fact that he's still sick, he wasn't on the ice. But we expect him to be on the road.